My name is B. Dave Walters. I'm a life strategist and spiritual coach. Basically, what I do is I help people make sense out of life, to figure out what it is that you want, and more importantly, how to get it. You can find me on Facebook. You can Twitter me at B. Dave Walters, or you can find me on my website, peacelovemoney.com. So, what I'd like to talk about today is a lot of the articles I write and coaching that I do centers around the idea of change and, changing yourself, changing your life, changing your circumstances. But a lot of times I also say things like, you're perfect right now, just the way you are. You're perfect right here today. So people ask me quite often how it is they can be perfect and yet need to change. So I want to talk about that exact thing today. So how is it that you can be perfect and need to change? Well, the simple answer is you don't need to change. You may want to change, but you don't have to change. But I'm going to explain that a little more in a minute. But I want to explain to you what I mean when I say that you're perfect right now. You may have heard of a man named Wallace Wattles. He was one of the big inspirations for Rhonda Byrne when she made The Secret. His book, The Science of Getting Rich, has been very popular, sold a lot of copies since The Secret came out. And I just drew on it for an article I wrote for theexaminer.com. But Mr. Wattles had a second book he wrote about the science of being great, which is where I was first exposed to this particular idea of perfection. And what Mr. Wattles said was that you can be perfect but incomplete. So what does perfect but incomplete mean? The best example is a baby. Especially if you've ever been around a baby, you'll know exactly what I mean. You've never seen such a small, compact, perfect thing in all of your life. But a baby can't do anything. They can't drive a car or write a book or sing a song or do a cartwheel. But I think anybody would say, even still, in this current state, this baby is still perfect. Or think about when the Earth had dinosaurs on it. The Earth was perfect for an Earth with dinosaurs. When the dinosaurs' time was up, the Earth changed, there's no more dinosaurs. So what does this have to do with you? What it means is, right now, you're perfect for the life that you've got. You are exactly the person you had to be in the place that you are right now. You are just as fat, just as skinny, just as tall, just as short, just as smart, just as accomplished, just as educated, just as experienced to have the life that you have right now today. The only thing is, if you decide that you want more than what you have today, then you're going to need to change to get it. Simple. If you're happy where you are and everything is working the way that you want it to work, then by all means keep doing everything you're doing right now. But if you decide that you want more, and I think you probably do, then you're going to need to do things a little bit differently. But I want to tell you also, there's no such thing as an average person. Every single person you see walking down the street, yourself included, is a miracle, an actual, beyond chance, statistical, just miracle. So let me ask you a question. If I was to say, you and I are in a room, and there's a brand new Ferrari parked up in front of the room, and I say, if you can get into that Ferrari, it's yours. You can drive away in it right now, no strings attached. You could probably do it. What if I put you in front of a room of 50 people, and I say the first one out of you 50 people who gets in that car, drives away, it's all yours? Could you do it? Maybe. Depends on how bad you want a Ferrari, I guess. What if I were to tell you that the car is hidden somewhere in your city, and the first citizen of that town or your city, wherever you live, who can get into the car is the one who's going to leave? Well, it gets harder. What if I told you I'd hidden this same car somewhere in the United States, Canada, or Mexico, don't know where? You're competing against every single person in each of these countries, and anyone who does not find this car is going to die. Do you think you could do it? Well, actually, you've already done that. Once upon a time, you were one of about 500 million sperm cells. If you're laughing, get the sperm cells out of the way. I said sperm, I know. But seriously, you had about a 1 in 500 million chance of even existing. That's much greater odds than the lottery for you to even be here living and breathing. And that doesn't take into account all kinds of other things, like every time you were almost in an accident, every time you were sick and get better. If you think about it, you probably know people that you grew up with or knew in the past who aren't here anymore, and you are. So you've already beaten the odds just to exist. And then if you take that and you think about how many people had to meet in the past, your parents had to meet, your grandparents had to meet, your great-grandparents, and all of them had to beat the same odds that you had to beat for you to even be here living and breathing. So the fact that you've even got a shot at life makes you amazing and wonderful and powerful all in and of itself. So beyond even that, though, even beyond just statistical chance, you have the idea of just that you're made in God's image. The fact that your creator put you here, that it's not just sheer chance that you're here. And I mentioned The Secret before, and they talk about the law of attraction, but the law of attraction is actually a part of something called the law of vibration. And you can actually think of it in another way. It's E equals MC squared. What E equals MC squared taught us is that energy and physical material are the same thing. The only thing that differs is a substance's rate of vibration. So when I tell you that you're literally made from stardust, you're made from the exact same substance that the sun is made out of, it's true. That material is just vibrating at a different level than you are. And so the whole crux of the law of attraction is you want to try and move yourself into the same vibrational level as things you want. And you do that through your feelings. But I don't really want to talk too much about the law of attraction right now, but as you know, again, if you feel how you want to feel, then that changes your vibration and it starts to bring those things into your life. But beyond that, there's so much power that's in you that you might not even be aware of. I mean, you have the strength of the mountains, the depths of the ocean, enough energy, enough electrical power in your body to fuel an entire city. I mean, you probably saw that in The Matrix where they were using people for batteries, which is kind of creepy in that context, but it's really true. You have hundreds of millions of dollars worth of energy just floating around inside of you right now. So what is it that you're going to do with that energy? I personally believe that we all have a task that we've come here to do, not really a destiny as such. My relationship and my idea about our Creator and how our Creator operates is that God has certain things that God would like to see happen, but isn't going to try and force and make us do. That we come here into this life with certain lessons that we're supposed to learn, certain things that we're supposed to do. And you know what it is that you're supposed to do, and I can tell you how you know. It's that little small voice that's always there, that says things to you like, wow, it'd be great if I was a professional singer. And then another larger voice says, oh, but you can't be a singer, you don't have the voice, it's too hard, blah, 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 blah. But after all of that, that little voice still says, yeah, but it would be great to be a singer. That little voice, that voice is your destiny. That's the little voice that you want to listen to. That's the one you want to hear. There will always be a million reasons not to act. You only need one good one to get you in motion. So when I talk about change, I talk about change within regards not of being a good person or something being wrong with you right now, because there's nothing wrong with you, nothing at all. But I talk about it in terms of becoming the type of person that you have inside of you to become and it doesn't have to be some great famous person. It may be that you're going to become a veterinarian and you will just be the greatest veterinarian of all time. Or a person like Mother Teresa, who worked in an orphanage in Calcutta, but she changed so many lives that it went beyond just what she was capable of doing. And that's the definition of greatness. It's not fame, it's not fortune, it's being the absolute best at what it is that you've been sent here to do. So that's the simplest explanation for it, of why you're already perfect, and yet there's still more for you to do. So this is just a small introduction here. We're going to have lots of talks like this. Once again, my name is B. Dave Walters. If there's anything I can do to help you, please let me know. You can find me on Facebook, on Twitter, or on my website, peacelovemoney.com. Thank you so very much. Bye-bye.